So when you went through a traumatic experience or memory, you disconnected from who you are. And then there was a persona, an energy that you got that was a coping mechanism. And that persona, we might call it a monster as well, if you want to call it that. And for you as a child, that persona or energy maybe was called sadness. For others, it might be escape. For another one, it might be detachment. Another person who went through probably something like sexual trauma might then have a masculine mask if they're a woman, because if she's masculine, she's safe. For you, it might be control and trying to control things. So whenever you went through a disconnection from who you are as a human being, from your enoughness, from your love and safety, you then created these protective mechanisms around you. And not only did you create them, you chose them from your ancestral lineage because they are passed along as well. Your coping mechanism is not new to you. It's probably 8 generations old when the first child went through what you went through as a child, and then it got passed along and passed along until you. So your ancestral lineage is really well practiced on how to be sad, depressed, insomnia, many diagnoses if you go the modern route and go the gnosis route versus going the mythological route. The mythological route holds truth because now it says that you are enough as you are. And it's the disconnection where you inherited that energy, or you chose within the energies that you could choose as a child to cope with what was going on with you. And they say now, you're insomniac. You have insomnia because all these voices who are trying to protect you are too loud. You can't sleep at night with so many ideas and bad ideas as well. As a child, you maybe were sad, and then that's how you avoided conflict, and that's how you survived. You survived the environment you were in that was threatening you. And when you're older, it becomes depression. And as a kid, maybe you started escaping. You were busy playing with other kids. You did this. You were just detached from what you were going through inside. You couldn't regulate what was happening because the environments didn't help you go back to that safety, right? It didn't help you go back to who you are. And then you started escaping as an adult. You start escaping and you go through alcohol. Now you have more access. And then it's the drugs, right? For some people, it's the gambling, it's the sex, right? And then people will say, and then you go the modern route, the gnosis route that says, no, the pathology route that says, you have an addiction problem. No, you don't have an addiction problem. You have a disconnection problem. You don't have an insomnia problem. You have a disconnection problem. You don't have a multiple personality disorder problem. That's nonsense. You don't have a bipolar problem. You have a disconnection problem. There was a time in your life where you decided that that would be a better story for you in order for you to be safe than the one you had as a vulnerable child who's not safe. But it's up to you. You want to waste your money, spend years. I'm tired of this. I'm tired, from my own journey and from other people's journey that we've journeyed with. I'm really tired. I'm sick of the gnosis society that says that there's a chemical imbalance in your brain, so we need to give you some pill to balance that chemical. When the true thing is that you are disconnected. That's why you find that in some moments, when you're with yourself and you're real with yourself, you realize that the madness is how you are diagnosed. The madness doesn't come with who you are. It's time to remember. It's time to connect. It's time to come back home. It's time to fix things. I'm in a cave right now, and I'm saying that the cave that you fear to enter, that door you're fearing to open, you need to open it. There's a plethora, okay, English is not my first language, of alternate routes. There's a plethora of alternative routes that you can engage. Uthole usizo and get help. Versus doing the same thing over and over again for 10 years and being just this sad slob walking around or this crazy person walking around, when in truth, your inner child is dying and saying, please just come back to me. I need someone to save me. It's time to engage that, man. Stop running away. It's time to remember. Stop running away. Come back home. Come back to self. Come back home. Come back home. We are the